Hi artists, and welcome to Peiloff Paint Along, where we paint, peel, and create something together that's beginner friendly. My name is Melissa, and today we are creating a peaceful elephant scene. This one's all about the warm sunset skies and earthy tones, and a gentle giant walking across the land. It's beginner friendly and perfect for kids and adults alike. You'll need a canvas. It can be a canvas panel, stretch canvas, a canvas tote bag, or a piece of wood. Your Peiloff elephant stencil, a large flat brush, and a small round brush, paper towel to clean off your brushes, and water to rinse off your brushes. A palette, it could be a palette paper like what's included in the kit. It could be a plastic palette, a foam plate, whatever you want to put your paints on. For paint, you'll need orange. If you don't have orange, you can mix that using a little bit of red and yellow. We're also gonna use yellow. We're gonna practice blending. For the dirt ground, we're gonna make brown. We make that by mixing red and yellow. Once we get a good orange, then we're going to add blue. So I'm gonna put blue on the side of this mix. We need gray for the elephant. If you don't already have gray, we're gonna use black and white. And then we're also gonna need a pure black for the details. Let's get started. So we're gonna start by peeling and placing your elephant stencil in the center of your canvas. You can either keep your canvas portrait or you can turn it to the side and paint landscape. I'm going to choose to do it landscape. So I'm going to take my elephant and peel it right off of this backing. I'm going to save my backing so that when I'm done, I can put my stencil right back on it and reuse it for another project. Find where I want my stencil to be, kind of in the center. If you're doing a Peiloff kit, or if you're at a Peiloff party, you already have your stencil applied to the canvas, so you can skip this decision-making step. I'm just gonna rub down on my stencil, rub around the edges, make sure that it's laying nice and flat. It is adhesive, so I just wanna make sure that all the edges are sticking to my canvas. None of the edges are floating up, so that none of the paint sneaks underneath. Just gonna give it a nice generous rub throughout the body. And I feel good with that. Let's blend a beautiful sunset sky by mixing the yellow and red to make orange. I am going to use my flat brush and just spin these colors around. If you want to lighten up your orange, you can add white. Or for my orange, I'm going to add a little bit more yellow because this is looking a little too red for me. All right, I like the way this color looks. About the top third is going to be orange, and then I'm going to do some yellow, and then we're going to make the brown dirt. So I'm just gonna start up here, pushing this orange all over the top of my canvas. Go ahead and get some orange on the top of your elephant stencil. It's gonna create a really nice crisp line. Don't be scared of getting paint on your stencil. That is what it's here for. I want a very clean brush so that I can go in with my yellow. All right, I keep wiping and it's looking good. So now I'm gonna take my yellow and I'm gonna start painting up from about where I want my sky to end. Go ahead again and get it onto your elephant stencil. Go over the edges of the stencil in this yellow area. Make sure that it's nice and coated so I get that crisp outline when I peel my stencil off. And I don't want to go into my orange yet. I just want to fill the yellow section with color before I start getting any orange onto my brush. Now we're gonna blend. We're gonna take this yellow on our brush and we're going to brush it up into the orange section. And just keep painting up into the orange. You see how we created that blend effect? This side has no blend, this side is blended because I took my lighter color and I used it up into my darker color. I'm just gonna wipe my brush off since it has some orange on it, get some more yellow on my brush, and do the same thing on the other side. Paint my yellow section, keep painting up into my orange section with my yellow brush, and that created a blend. I can blend it even more by going back down. My brush is pretty empty, but I can go down from the orange down into the yellow and blend it even more, but down into my yellow. I'm just gonna make a nice broad stroke across so that it's pretty even of where my orangey yellow blend is down into the pure yellow. All right, I like that for the background. I'm gonna wipe my brush clean on the paper towel. And then I'm going to mix my red and yellow that I have down here next to the blue, because now I wanna make brown for the ground. So brown starts with a good orange. This is very red, so I'm going to add more yellow. Now I'm gonna add blue. Test my color. I like the way that looks. So now I'm gonna do the bottom part of my canvas for the ground. You can do whatever kind of brush strokes you want. You can do side to side for a more natural look. You can do up and down for a rougher look, whatever floats to your boat. As I approach the top of the horizon, I'm just going to use my brush to make a line by holding the side of my brush, because I don't want my brown to go too high into my yellow. Then I'll just brush it down from that line I just made. Sometimes you go a little bit above, it's okay. You can always make another line where you just went above, or you can leave it naturally the way it is, because the ground isn't perfectly flat. When you look at a horizon, it has curves. It has areas that are a little higher than others. So it is a-okay. Now I'm gonna use my small round brush into my black. And see, there's a little hole here. I'm just gonna paint over that area. Gonna let it dry nice and good, and then we'll be right back. While we let our paint dry for a few minutes, let's play a quick round of elephant painting trivia. Show us your answers by doing true, false, A, B, or C. Ready? Let's go. Question 1. True or false? Elephants are the biggest land animals on Earth. The answer is true. Elephants can weigh more than a car. Question 2. Which two colors do you mix to make purple? Is it A, blue and red, B, yellow and red, or C, blue and green? The answer is A, blue and red. That's how you make a bold purple. Question 3. What do elephants use their trunks for? Is it A, painting, B, drinking, C, picking things up? Guess what? If you picked A, B, or C, you're all correct. They do all of the above. Their trunks are super strong and super useful. Question 4. Which brush is best for painting large areas like a background? Is it A, tiny wide brush, B, toothbrush, C, flat wide brush? The answer is C, a flat wide brush. It helps you cover more space quickly. Question 5. True or false? Elephants live in every continent. The answer is false. They only live in Africa and Asia. If you see them anywhere else, they've been brought in. Nice work, artists. Your background should be dry by now. Let's keep painting our amazing elephants. Now that it's dry, I'm going to peel off my stencil. Carefully find an edge. You can use your nail or the spatula that's in the kit. And you're just gonna get your nail under there a little bit. Kind of poke at it. And then peel. To reveal your elephant's silhouette. I'm going to use this backing paper that my elephant was on in the beginning to stick it right back on so that I can use this elephant stencil again for another project in the future. So now I have the silhouette of my elephant. I'm going to use the small detail brush again, mix my white with my black to make gray. Now I'm going to use this gray to paint inside of my elephant. On the edges, I'm just going to be gentle and make a bunch of small strokes to create my lines for my outline. Feel free to go outside of the lines. You have a great shape with your stencil, but sometimes you gotta go outside a little bit. Just make sure you use full paint, so where you go outside of the lines, you don't see the brown. For these hind legs, there's 2 legs. I want to start trying to figure out where my legs might end. So I think that that might be my front leg, and then this would be the back leg. Here's a good example of how you can add shadows to your elephant.
Take a little dark. This is good. Just remember, we could always lighten this up. Taking up some of the water. Now, I'm gonna put my pinky on him. I'm gonna create the hump right here. See this? This is gonna be the hump of part of his head. See, I'm just gonna come bring that color right down the front of the trunk. I'm gonna leave a little opening here. And then I'm gonna leave some space, just like I said, because I'm gonna create the other part that's right around here. This is gonna help create the other hub. See? And this one, I'm just gonna connect these two, leaving a little bit of space. And I'm gonna switch back to this brush because I really wanna work faster and bring that color all the way down the trunk. This is the shadow part. This is gonna help give you a painting dimension. Perspective, if you will. And just make his ear like this and say that's gonna be where his ear is. And while we have this, let's define inside the trunk in his mouth. So let's just make a little checkpoint right here, check this, and we're going to blend this dark right to the lip. Almost like he's smiling. There. And this is going to act as his mouth part. And we've already established where his ear is, right? So now let's grab some of this color again. We're almost there. It'll all make sense in a second. We're going to fill this part in. We're going to come here and start to define his ear. See? Put that color right in to here. And then I'm just going to soften this all up. And that's going to be the basis of his head. How's that? Pretty easy, right? Told you. Now my scrubbing is just to soften up the colors a little bit. See? See how we're starting to come together? And now let's add a little bit more of this gray value. And let's just come right off of this and says ear is going to stop somewhere here. I'm just going to smooth this up. You could spend hours painting this picture, but again, this is the formulation of his ear. Now the cool thing is, you're going to take this dark color and actually draw in the rest. So you come here and you say, okay, this is the low part of his ear, and it's going to go around and around, like so, and then we're going to start breaking this off, like that. That's his head. We'll come back to that. But let's create the shadow that's underneath here, because we can reshape this by adding a shadow that's underneath his ear here, that's going to actually come underneath his body, right here in the front. See? And then from here, we're going to cut right across and make that leg. See how we push that other leg back? See? And now we take this brush again with a little bit of color, mixing up a little bit of the gray value, and we're just going to come right near this and start introducing a little bit of a secondary toned value right where we made that hard dark line. Then we're going to take some white and blend that back. See? Softens it up. Mix up another little batch of gray value. That looks about right. And we're just going to introduce that right back in here. See that? Now we have the muscle element of that leg. And since it's in the front, we can just go right like that, and that's it. All right, so now we have our head, we have our leg, and we have the formation of our ear, and we have our back leg, just that fast. Now I'm going to show you how to separate this front leg from the body. So we'll pick up a little black again, and we're just going to go right in between here, and we're going to just create a little bit of a shape, like that, a little bit of a dimple, like that. And then we're going to take this dark color, and right along his belly, we're going to add some dark right in this area here, all back up, and down here, and then we're going to stop, pick up our flat brush again, put a little white, mix up some of this gray, go right along the edge of it, and continue right here. See, now we have the belly part. So then we're just going to take some white by itself and right along the edge, soften this all up. There, see that? This is a female elephant, and you could tell by the hump on the back. Males have a larger hump. It's like the difference between an Indian elephant and an African elephant is the ears. But all elephants, the male has a more higher and more rounded back, and the female has a kind of a delicate back. It's going to scrub this. It's going to look that's fine. See? Look how we're developing this. And I know this is a little bit longer than we normally do in our videos, but that's okay. Now we're working our way toward the back. Now I'm going to show you how to separate the back leg and his front part here by putting some dark black. We're going to come right in between this area. We're just going to make like a little V shape. Make it dark. And then we're just going to draw a staggered line, like so, to represent the belly part in the leg part. And that pretty much is a good separation. And now we're going to take some of this color and go to the tail, and right at the very top, we're going to add some dark for the shadow on his tail. We're literally going to paint the top part of his tail black, coming all the way down at an angle to about right there. That helps show a distinct tail section. And now for the leg part, you just put on a little bit of color. You go right into this part here, right at the, you see what a little dimple is at the bottom? So you take it right at the back and you just go up a little bit. And keep going up until you find that back lack, see? Dollaju, easy peasy. Take some of this dark color and go into the ear, and you draw a little skinny line here, and a little skinny line here, and a little skinny line here. This acts as the wrinkles in that big elephant's ear. You're not gonna almost hear him right now.
But there we go, you did it. You painted, peeled, and created something amazing. Your sunset elephant is one of a kind. Thanks so much for painting along with Peiloff. Don't forget to tag us at PEILOFF painting when you share. We love seeing your art. See you in the next project.